In this map, we're going to ahead and add data. We're going to search for it. We're going to get it from ArcGIS Online, so make sure that's where you can, if it's my content, change it so it says ArcGIS Online. And what we're going to do next is make sure we're in the content area. So what it's going to do is just find data only in what we're looking at here. I'm going to type in Brownfield, Indiana map. And Indiana map, all one word, hit enter. And it's this top one here. Remediation brownfields. We're going to add it to the map. And so that's showing all the brownfields locations. Next up, we're going to get those economic growth regions. I think if we just do EGR, we should be able to find them. There we are, Indiana's EGRs. We're going to add them to the map. All right, and so we really don't need those layers because what we're doing is we're just more concerned about creating this next layer. You'll see what I mean here. So go to the details, we'll click this middle part, and I mean, just you can click on them, click off them, do whatever you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to perform an analysis. So click on analysis, we're going to summarize the data. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take those points, go back here, we're going to take these points, and we're going to essentially count the number of each of those dots that are inside each of one of these Indiana growth regions, which I've just made hollow just so you can see what I mean. So what we're doing is we're trying to count the dots and then make a map that says, okay, which one of these areas that we've identified, central Indiana, eastern Indiana, western Indiana, north central Indiana, so on, which one of these has the highest number of brownfield sites which are located in. What are brownfield sites? These are abandoned former industrial sites that might be contaminated, in which there really is no chance of them becoming back to what they were before, and so they're just kind of left abandoned, and so they're kind of tried to be taken care of as best they can, but they often are contaminated, so they're not really great places in terms of building sites or putting a school or anything like that on. Anyhow, all right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try to find and count the number of them that are found inside each of those. And so what we'll do is analysis, summarize data, aggregate points. And so what we have here is we have options. We don't have any options. So what we're doing is we're going to choose a layer. We're going to take those dots. That's the layer that we're going to aggregate into areas, and those areas being those regions, those economic growth regions. So leave everything as is. Come down here, add and use current map extent. Make sure if that's checked, make sure that we have here what you see. Make sure you see all of Indiana. If you're zoomed in too close and you run this analysis, then it'll only do what's in the map view. So make sure all of Indiana is shown. Click on run, and once again, this will take about 2 minutes. And the result are these circles, which are cool, but they really don't do enough for us. And so we're going to change the symbology. So that's going to be underneath here in this particular new layer that's been created. We can go ahead and get rid of the other ones. We don't need them anymore. They're of no use to us anymore. And we'll go over to change style, and we're going to go to number 2. So first off, think about the attribute count of points. So it counted the number of those dots, those brownfield sites. That's what we just did there. And we're going to change it to this middle one, counts and amounts, color, select. And it should change the colors, and then we're going to click on options and change the symbology. Since we're talking about brownfields, why not brown? But the problem is here we need is flip, because the brown is showing as low, and we want brown to be high. What's this one's even better? Let's do that one. And so we want brown to be at the top. So you click on this invert color ramp, this recycle button here, or this refresh button, and that will make it so that brown's up high. Click on OK. Next up, what we're going to do is scroll down just a little bit here to classify data and change the classes to just as many as there can be. 10, I think, is the max. Yep. And now we have a new map that's been created. So go ahead and click on Done. Make sure you click on that. And so now we can see where in Indiana, which of the economic growth regions has the highest number of those brownfields. And it's there in the Indianapolis area, Fort Wayne, and not so much there in southern Indiana. Even further, what we can do is we can then look at the table. So if you click on this Show Table button, at the bottom you should see a table show up here. Now let's go to click on Count of Points, and we're going to sort descending, not condescending, but descending order. And now we can see Economic Growth Region 5, which, knowing what I know, that's Central Indiana. is the top, and then Economic Growth Region 1, Northwest Indiana, is number 2. So you can kind of see how we have a pattern here where we have our urban areas is also where we have a lot of brownfields. For this particular one, we're going to go ahead and save it, save as, and our title is going to be Brownfields and EGRs G327. Save map. And then what I want for you this one, I don't want you to send me a link. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you to do a screen capture. And that for my computer is Control Print Screen. You might not already know what yours is. I don't know. Or if you don't know how to do it, just get a phone or a camera and take a picture of your screen right now. What I want to see is I want to see the map in the background using that particular color ramp. And then I also want to see this table shown at the bottom. So that's all you want to do for this particular map. Map 2, just send me a screenshot of what you see right now.